Must have been one of the first families to move into the cannery because I'm not really sure how it ended up that way because it was a segregated community. I mean, all the canneries were, and the first house, the farthest west, was my grandparents. So I don't know if it was a matter of first come first serve or that's how they got there because my grandparents moved out here just before we did. So they had the first house, and then we were right next door. We were in the second one, and there was one more because there were three standalone houses there, and then across the boardwalk were row houses. So we were fortunate enough to actually have a house. It was a 3-bedroom house. It was a fair size house. So, and like I say, I think maybe it was just a matter of first come first serve. We happened to be there before anybody else. So yeah, I grew up right next door to my grandparents, which was probably, well, I spoke no English till I started school because I was with them all the time. And there was an older couple that lived on the other side of us. Had a lot of people in the village that were like grandparents. So those were the Japanese. There were the 3 houses, and then there was a bunkhouse, which wasn't occupied a lot of the year. It was sort of in the summertime when all the fishermen would come up. They'd be at the bunkhouse. And then on the other side, the 2 row houses were filled with Japanese. And then there was a boardwalk that separated us. A little ways down, there were the Simpson, because I grew up with, and they were all from, I think almost all of them were from Hartley Bay. So I did grow up knowing them, and we were friends, but I wasn't really allowed to. I wasn't allowed to go past that section because it's too far. And then further down the boardwalk, they were the Nishka, and then down towards the cannery. And of course, there were Chinese, but only men. There was never ever a Chinese woman or child that I ever saw while I was growing up. And there was a store there. It was a little general store. I remember that.